On the first day of freshman year, my childhood sweetheart, Evan Joe, had our family's driver detour 30 kilometers to pick up Emily Shen at the entrance of a village. I shot Evan a sharp look. "What's that supposed to mean? You know I don't like her, and you still had us swing by to pick her up. I'm already carsick and about to throw up." Evan's eyes dodged mine. "Grace, you know Emily's family is poor. They don't support her going to college and won't even give her money for the trip. We're going to the same school anyway. Let's just take her along." Looking out at the rundown house behind Emily, I softened for a moment and let her get in. When we stopped to rest at a service area, Emily wore a pained expression and said she was carsick and needed the front passenger seat. I refused, but Evan went ahead and put her in the front, then scolded me. "Grace, you grew up riding in luxury cars. You have no idea how miserable motion sickness is. Can't you have a little empathy?" Fuming, I went to buy a milk tea to cool off. When I came back out, the car was gone. I grabbed my phone and saw only a message from Evan. "Grace, Emily suddenly has a stomachache. I told Mr. Zhang to take us to the hospital first. I'll have him wait for you at the highway exit." My blood went cold. Did he forget I'm his girlfriend? That car is my family's. Standing in a strange service area with not a single familiar face, I sank into confusion and fear. I hadn't expected that on the very day school started, Evan would leave me behind at a service area. Anger, heartbreak, and panic tangled together until I could hardly breathe. If I'd known this would happen, I never would have let Evan set out in my car. We had picked him up that morning. After we drove for a while, he kept directing Mr. Zhang, steering us farther and farther from the GPS route. I asked why we weren't following the navigation, and he said, "I'm taking you somewhere you've never been." He acted so mysterious that I was actually a little happy, thinking he had some secret hideout he wanted to show me. The mountain road was rough. We wound along it, turning so many times I lost count. I was about to puke by the time we finally arrived, and when I saw Emily standing at the village entrance, her face lit with excitement, I was stunned. Evan knew perfectly well I disliked Emily, yet he used my family's car to make such a long detour to pick her up. If not for her threadbare clothes and that dilapidated house, I never would have softened and let her come along. Back at the service area, Emily said she was carsick and wanted the front seat. I flatly refused. The mountain road had twisted my stomach too. Sitting up front would have helped me. But Evan just opened the door and let her in, then lectured me for lacking empathy. I figured we were already halfway there, and making a scene would look bad, so I swallowed it. I dashed into the shop, bought a milk tea, and came back out. My car was gone. I checked my phone again, read Evan's message one more time, and forced myself to calm down, choking back the urge to kill someone. I called my dad first. As soon as he picked up, my voice wavered. "Dad, Evan left me alone at a service area. He took a girl from his class and went on ahead." There were a few seconds of silence before my dad spoke. "Grace, don't be afraid. Tell me which service area you're at, and I'll send someone to get you right away. Looks like the Joe family doesn't want to be connected to us after all. They were marrying up to begin with. I don't know where Evan found the nerve to pull something like this. I'll cut off business with their family immediately and hit them hard so they understand the consequences of crossing you. As for Jan Quan, don't worry. If he followed Evan's orders and left you behind, he won't be working for our family ever again." Dad also said he would make him pay compensation. With those words, I instantly felt at ease. "Thank you, Dad." He kept comforting me. "Grace, go sit inside one of the shops at the service area. Uncle Joe will get to you as fast as possible. He's already on his way, don't be scared." Reluctantly, I hung up and sat dazed in the service area lounge. Once the fear ebbed, the hurt from what Evan Joe had done crashed over me like a tide. We'd grown up together. Our families weren't in the same league financially, but that never kept me from liking him. When we got older, our parents wanted to settle our marriage with a verbal agreement. I was a little unwilling, though, because in our senior year, a girl named Emily Shen suddenly transferred into our class. From then on, she was like a shadow, constantly appearing between us and sparking several arguments. Either Evan got called away by her when we were eating, or he brought her along when we went shopping. Every time I got angry, Evan would explain, Grace, don't overthink it. Emily didn't get approved as a needy student, so she has no stipend. I take her out to eat and walk around because I feel bad for her. It's just to broaden her horizons. You grew up with every comfort. You don't understand. To her, this is like heaven. Just pity her a little. My family isn't as well off as yours. What you like about me is my character and integrity, right? If everyone shuns her and keeps their distance, and I, as class monitor, do the same, wouldn't that make my character lousy? Would you still like me then? As for Emily, she would stand behind him, looking aggrieved, those innocent eyes fixed on me, full of fear and humility. Classmate Zhang, she would say, I didn't mean to ask class monitor Zhao for help. I really didn't know what to do, so I asked him because no one would pay attention to me. They look down on me for being from the countryside, and mock me every day for eating only buns and plain water. He's the only one who doesn't despise me, so he's the only person I dare ask for help. If I've caused you trouble, I won't appear in front of you again. Before I could respond, Evan would start scolding me. Grace, your family is well off, so you don't see the hardships of the world. If you're like this, only looking up to the rich and looking down on daughters from poor families, then I'm truly disappointed in you. Squeezed under their so-called moral high ground, my head went a little fuzzy. I began to wonder if I was the one in the wrong, if I'd become some spoiled rich girl who despised the poor and fawned over the wealthy. But only now do I understand it wasn't my problem. Emily wasn't the only underprivileged student in our class. Besides, she didn't even meet the true criteria for poverty. Her family wasn't starving. It was just that her parents favored sons over daughters and wanted her to quit school early, go work, and get married. They were unwilling to support her, that's all. There were plenty of people worse off than she was. In the end, it was Evan who had different feelings for her. Otherwise, why would he keep helping her in every possible way instead of helping the ones who were truly in need? What I can't figure out is this. In terms of family background and looks, I outshine Emily. So why would he do this? In a flash, something came back to me. The day before yesterday, I went to his house for dinner and arrived more than 10 minutes early. Just as I reached the door, I heard his family talking. Mrs. Zhou asked him, Evan, before freshman year starts, why don't you settle your and Grace's marriage first? After all, once you're at college, students from all over the country gather together. If a more outstanding boy shows up and Grace falls for someone else, that would be a problem. Evan's father was persuading him too. Your mom's right. Anyway, we only recognize Grace as our daughter-in-law. If you bring home some girl from out of town, we won't agree. I remember feeling pretty happy then that they liked me that much. But Evan spoke up, a trace of uncertainty in his voice. Mom, Dad, I think it's not great to lock this in so early. Grace's family has money, and she's not exactly the yielding type. Are you sure you want to marry her in and worship her like a goddess long-term? Why can't I choose a girl who isn't wealthy but is gentle? Life would be more comfortable. Before he could finish, Mrs. Zhou cut him off. Evan, what nonsense are you saying? You and Grace grew up together? Are your feelings fake? If you plan to betray her feelings, we won't forgive you first. Evan hurried to explain. My feelings for Grace are good, of course. I was just talking. Maybe she's gotten on my nerves lately, and I was venting. Don't worry, she's the best choice for a fiancé in my heart. No one can compare. I let his last sentence go to my head, which is why I picked him up for the trip today. Thinking back now, I realized the first two sentences were what he really meant. So he was already tired of me, wasn't he? Just then, my phone chimed. It was a WeChat from Evan. Grace, why aren't you replying? Where are you now? I told Mr. Britus John to wait for you at the highway exit. Call him when you get there. Emily just saw the doctor. They said it's menstrual cramps. She's taken painkillers, and it doesn't hurt now. I'll take her to campus first. Call me when you get to school, and I'll come out to meet you. I couldn't help the cold smile tugging at my mouth. He told Mr. Zhang to wait at the highway exit, but did he ever consider how I'm supposed to get to the highway exit? When I had cramps before, he didn't even check on me. I texted him to buy me brown sugar water, and he never replied. 2 minutes later, I saw Emily's Moments post with a photo of Evan tutoring her. Now it's just menstrual cramps. and Evan actually dumped me at a service area and rushed her to the hospital in my car. It's laughable. Right then I decided, Evan Zhao, I'm done. I still didn't reply. I just waited quietly for Uncle Joe. Half an hour later, I got his call. Miss, I'm at the service area. I ran outside. The moment I saw the familiar car and Uncle Joe's face, my eyes nearly filled with tears. It was my first time traveling far on my own, and I'd been abandoned on top of that. Of course, I felt scared and wronged. Seeing me like that, Uncle Joe, who watched me grow up, looked heartbroken. Miss, you've suffered. Don't worry, I'll get you safely to campus and help you buy whatever you need. I won't let you face this alone. I sniffed, my eyes red, and nodded hard. Thank you, Uncle Joe. I love you to pieces. He drove in silence the whole way, never mentioning Evan. After we left the highway, we immediately spotted a BMW parked on the shoulder. It was Mr. Zhang, leaning against the car, his face anxious as he kept glancing toward the exit. The second he saw Uncle Joe's Maybach, his expression changed. Because Uncle Joe is my dad's driver. That meant my parents already knew they'd left me behind. Mr. Zhang's job was as good as gone. The car stopped, and Mr. Zhang jogged over. I lowered the window and looked at him coldly. Sweat had already broken out on his forehead, and he hurried to paste on a worried, anxious expression. Miss, you finally made it. I've been waiting here for almost an hour. You scared me to death. Then he glanced at Uncle Joe, forced a fawning smile, and said, Why trouble you to come all this way, Joe? This one's on me. I couldn't hold back any more and asked in an icy voice, So tell me this. If Uncle Joe hadn't come, were you planning to make me walk here? Why did you leave me alone at the service area when you said our family's driver was driving my car? Mr. Zhang was drenched in cold sweat. Miss, I didn't mean it. I saw that female classmate clutching her stomach and saying she was in pain. I was afraid something might happen and dragged the Zhang family into it, so I followed the young master's orders and rushed her to the hospital. You can't blame me for that. My voice dropped to freezing. Young Master Evan Zhou, he will not be the Zhang family's son-in-law in the future, and you won't be our driver either. Mr. Zhang's face went completely white. No, miss, please don't fire me. I really didn't do it on purpose. I left first because I panicked. Nah, in the end, I was thinking of the Zhang family. What if it turned into a life or death situation? I didn't want to say another word. I raised the window and shut him out. Uncle Joe shot him a frigid look. Drive back yourself and explain to the old master. With that, he hit the gas and left the terrified Mr. Zhang behind. When we reached the school, there was already a long line at the gate. All my things were in Mr. Zhang's car. Uncle Joe told me to wait in our car while he went to buy daily necessities for me. I was bored, scrolling on my phone, when I saw Evan leading Emily to the entrance to set up a new SIM card. Emily asked him about everything she saw, and he answered each question patiently. Sweet smiles bloomed on both their faces. After they finished with the SIM, Evan took her to the streets near campus, apparently looking for something to eat. Uncle Joe came back and was about to help me carry things to the dorm when the dorm manager stopped us. Men, hold it. This is the women's dorm. If he's a boyfriend, we can grudgingly let him help carry things. Otherwise, no. Uncle Joe had to hand everything to me with an apologetic look. Miss, I'm afraid you'll have to take these up yourself. I'll wait in the car outside. Once you're done, I'll take you to eat. I took the items from him, nodded, and headed upstairs. The dorm was a 4-person room. When I found my bed, I saw the others had already made theirs. Suddenly, the quilt and some toiletries on the upper bunk looked familiar, though I couldn't place why. Thinking of Uncle Joe waiting outside to take me to dinner, I didn't dwell on it. I just wanted to clean up, make my bed, and head out so he could get home sooner. I was halfway through when someone came in. Figuring it was a future roommate, I lifted a friendly smile to make a good first impression. Hi, I turned around and saw Evan and Emily, both looking stunned. The moment Evan saw me, his eyes lit up. Grace, you're here. Did Mr. Zhang bring you? Why didn't you call me? I didn't expect you to be in the same dorm as Emily. What a coincidence, but that's good. You'll be friends and look out for each other. With you around, no one will bully Emily. You've got more money. Whenever there's food or fun, don't forget to include her, Evan said. Oh, and her phone got smashed at the hospital. I took your new 16 Pro for her to use for now. Once she finds a part-time job and earns some money, she'll treat you to a meal. She doesn't have a bed curtain or a quilt either. Let her use yours first. She'll treat you then too." He finished and glanced at my neatly made bed and the curtain I'd just hung, then looked at Emily with smug satisfaction. "See? I told you, Grace can do anything. Even if she gave you all her stuff, she could still immediately get herself a brand new set." Emily played right along, giving him a starry-eyed look. "Class monitor Evan, you're amazing. You really understand Grace. I actually felt embarrassed to use her things, but I'm glad I listened to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have a place to sleep tonight. You're so good to me. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have made it to school today. If you hadn't taken me to the hospital, I might have died of pain on the way. If you hadn't pretended to be my boyfriend, no one would have helped me make the bed and hang the curtain. I'm really so grateful. When I earn some money, I'll treat you to a proper meal. Will you do me the honor then?" Evan tapped her nose and laughed. "Of course. We'll invite Grace to come with us too." He turned his head toward me and froze when he saw my stormy face. "Are you done?" I said. "Without my permission, you went to pick her up, put her in the front seat, and left me at a service area. Now, again, without asking me, you've given her my 16 Pro and my quilt. Did you buy any of those things? What gives you the right to just hand them over? Did you ask me? No wonder that bedding looked familiar. You're so generous. Why don't you just give her my house and my car while you're at it? If you want to play the hero and make a good impression, I won't stop you. But could you use your own money? We haven't even settled the previous tab, and you've already added a whole new list." I stared at him. "Evan Joe, you really are something. Also, you don't need to pretend to be her boyfriend anymore. We're done. Go ahead and be her real boyfriend." Evan reeled, disbelief all over his face. "Grace, I only asked you to wait at the service area for a bit. Do you have to be this angry? I know your family has money. Even if you were there alone, your parents would figure something out. See? You got here fast, didn't you? And Emily really wasn't feeling well. I took her to the hospital first because I was afraid something might happen. How can you be so cold-blooded, so petty? The three of us are the only ones who know each other at this school. We should stick together. Why stir up internal conflict? Looks like your family spoiled you so much you've got no human warmth left. You're selfish and indifferent." His words actually made me laugh. "Evan Joe, do you even hear yourself? You're using my things to win Emily's favor and then scolding me for minding. Where do you get the nerve?" I looked him straight in the eye. "From this moment on, we're broken up. Honestly, back at the service area, you were already dead to me. I'm not negotiating, I'm informing you. You have no right to give away my property. Get everything back immediately, or I'm calling the police." At the word police, both their faces changed. Emily's eyes reddened in an instant, tears about to spill. "Grace, don't be so aggressive, okay? My family really doesn't have the money to buy me these things. So class monitor Zhao thought he'd just borrow your things for a bit. Just borrowing, not giving them away. Don't be mad, okay? When you get like this, it really scares me. I don't want to get arrested. It was so hard for me to get into college. Please don't ruin it for me." I stared at her, fed up, and couldn't hold back anymore. I raised my hand and slapped her. Every word came out edged with fury. "Emily Shen, right? This is the first time I've slapped you. I never had the chance before. How thick is your skin? Why do you keep wedging yourself between me and Evan, haunting us like a ghost? I won't rehash the past, but it's only been half a day and you've already taken too many things from me, like a vampire, a bottomless pit. If you're that short on money, just be with Evan outright. Stop parading that fake green tea act in front of me. I'm beyond sick of it. I'm breaking up with him now. This trash, take him. I don't want him, okay? As for my stuff, give it back. I wouldn't give it to you even to throw away. I think it's dirty now." A sharp crack split the air. Fire stung my left cheek, and I realized I'd been hit. I covered my face and stared at the one who struck me, stunned. "Evan Zhao, you hit me?" He looked at his hand, panic flooding his face. "Grace, I didn't mean to. You went too far. You're not only blaming her, you're cursing her. How could you become like this? This version of you is so unfamiliar. I don't like you like this. If you insult Emily like that again, we're breaking up. Emily's tears fell at once. She looked at him, overwhelmed. Class monitor, I'm not worth this. Grace is your fiancée after all. If you do this, she'll be hurt. Evan let out a derisive laugh. The wife I marry will be gentle and kind, not some arrogant, overbearing, spoiled rich girl without manners. Seeing him like this, my disgust hit its peak. Evan Joe, do you not understand human language? You're still waiting to break up with me later? Didn't you hear me? I already said we're done, and I was informing you, not negotiating. Where do you get the nerve? I must have been blind to ever like you. You slapped me today, and you'll pay for it. Evan scoffed. Grace, don't think you can use your family's wealth to pressure me. Sure, your family has money, but mine isn't poor. That trick doesn't work on me. If you apologize properly to Emily, I might still get engaged to you. Otherwise, forget it. My scalp prickled. It was like he'd shut himself in a cage and couldn't hear a word I said. Are you insane? You hit me, and you want me to apologize to her? Are you waterlogged in the brain, or did I not make myself clear? Evan Zhao, from this moment on, we are no longer a couple. Forget an engagement, you won't even get my forgiveness. Go be with Emily. Have her haul this piece of trash out of my life, will you? You're acting like a lunatic. With that, I pulled out my phone and called my dad right in front of him. Dad, Evan Joe just hit me for that female classmate. There was a few seconds of silence, then my father's voice came back, low and dark. Baby, I understand. Don't worry. After today, the Zhou family won't have any standing in this city. The moment my dad finished speaking, Evan's face went paper white, and even Emily held her breath, too scared to say a word. Panic and alarm tangled across Evan's features, turning him ugly. Grace, you're really ruthless, turning on me just like that, not giving me any face at all. Even if your dad talks tough, I don't believe your family has that kind of power. My family isn't exactly doing badly, you know. I let out a cold laugh. That's just what you think. Your family isn't as rich as you imagine. You've been living off my family's favor, and my family is stronger than you think. We just don't brag about it. But Evan, whatever our backgrounds are, even if we were both ordinary, you still wouldn't have a chance anymore. He refused to believe it. Grace, are you threatening me? You'll stoop to anything just to win me back? I didn't want to waste another word. I yanked the quilt and the bed curtain off Emily's bunk and tossed them straight into the big trash can by the door, then grabbed my bag and turned to leave. Emily burst into tears. Then how am I supposed to sleep tonight? Evan hurried to pull her into his arms and soothe her. It's fine. It's fine. I'll go out and buy them for you later. Don't worry. Grace, don't go. How can you be like this? Suddenly his phone rang. He ignored me and picked up at once. Hello, Dad? What is it? I'm busy. I stopped in my tracks. Evan's father's roar blasted through the receiver. Evan, what on earth did you do? The Jiang family just called to say they're terminating all cooperation with us. They told us to get out of this city, or they'll crush us into bankruptcy. Grace's father said you left her alone at a service area over some girl from your class, and you hit her? Are you insane? What's wrong with your brain? Are you cursed? I'm telling you, you've ruined our family. Forget about living like a young master from now on. You'll pay your own tuition and living expenses. There's no money for you. Once the Jiangs cut ties, our cash flow snaps. We can't even cover the bank loans. None of the debts can be plugged. We're as good as bankrupt. You've taken a winning hand and shredded it. Some son you are. Don't come home for summer or winter break. Go earn your own money. All the color drained from Evan's face. Dad, hello? Dad? But the line only answered with a busy tone. Seeing him like that, Emily asked in a small voice, Class monitor, what happened? Are you okay? Evan snapped at her on instinct. Get lost, this is all because of you. If it weren't for you, my family wouldn't be in this mess. Why did you have to show up in front of me? You made me fight with Grace. You made her want to break up with me. It's all you. I'm not buying you those things anymore. Don't come to me again. I don't even have money for myself. You won't get any benefits out of me. Blasted by his anger and accusations, Emily's tears poured down like a breached dam. Class monitor, what are you saying? I didn't do anything. Why are you saying this about me? What am I supposed to do now? No one will help me. Evan still hadn't recovered from the disaster at home. Seeing her sobbing only made his face twist with irritation. What does what you do have to do with me? I can't even take care of myself right now. Don't you get it? Like a clay idol crossing a river, I can barely save myself. Don't you get it? All you do is cry, cry, cry. What's there to cry about? You're a girl. Isn't getting money easy? As long as you're willing, plenty of guys will hand you cash. Anyway, I've got no money. I can't help you. Don't come to me again. Emily and I both stared at him in disbelief. I couldn't wrap my head around how, 1 second ago, he'd still seemed like a gentleman and a do-gooder, and in the blink of an eye, he'd turned into a selfish jerk, telling someone to sell herself. He'd defended Emily so fiercely before, scolding me, insulting me, even hitting me. But the moment he faced rock bottom, his generosity vanished, the nice guy act disappeared, and his whole persona collapsed. Instead of reflecting on his character, he shoved all the blame onto Emily. The whiplash left me stunned. I wanted to slap myself for being blind enough to fall for such scum. Without money propping him up, his selfish nature burst out at once, enough to make your skin crawl. Emily was even more shaken, her tears never stopping. For a moment, I almost pitied her. I'd lost my relationship, but at least I still had family and more money than I could spend. If Evan lost me, he had nothing. But this was his own doing. If she'd built a decent relationship with me from the start, I might have given her those things myself instead of watching her pin all her hopes on a man. What does that say? It says she's been set on marrying Evan Joe to become rich. In its own way, that's a choice that brought its own consequences. With that thought, I stopped caring. I went straight downstairs. The moment I stepped out of the stairwell, I saw Uncle Joe waiting outside, face tight with worry. "Miss, there you are. The old master said the Joe boy hit you. Is that true?" At his reminder, the burn in my left cheek flared again, and my eyes stung. I nodded, aggrieved. Uncle Joe blew up, ready to charge upstairs, when Evan suddenly burst out of the stairwell and called after me. "Grace, wait for me. Please forgive me, okay? Call your dad and ask him to let my family off, please." I was wrong. I promise I won't make you angry again. Wham! A solid punch landed on his face. Uncle Joe threw it. "That's the price for hitting my young lady." Evan staggered back several steps and fell. Emily rushed down the stairs and hurried to help him up, her face full of concern. "Class monitor, are you okay?" Evan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and glared at Uncle Joe with vicious eyes, but he didn't dare lash out. "It's fine. I did deserve that. I just hope that after you've hit me, Mr. Jiang will take back his order to crush my family." Uncle Joe narrowed his eyes and let out a cold laugh. "Kid, you're overthinking it. I said this was the price for hitting my young lady, just tit for tat. Nothing more. You don't get to bargain. Do you think a single punch settles how much you hurt her today? Don't delude yourself." Evan's face drained white again, fear climbing all over it. He lunged toward me in a single stride. His tone turned pleading. "Grace, just this once. Give me one more chance, okay? I swear I won't do this again. I won't be two-timing anymore, all right? You saw I already told Emily to get lost. I won't have anything to do with her from now on. Please, just give me one chance." I stared at him and slowly pushed his hand away, my voice ice cold. "Did you forget what you said? If you married me, you'd have to worship me like a goddess at home, and you found that suffocating and troublesome. You wanted a wife who wasn't wealthy but gentle? Weren't you talking about Emily? Now you've got what you wanted. Why aren't you happy? I'm not giving you another chance, not even one. Give up. From now on I won't marry down. Either I don't marry, or I find a match that's my equal, so I won't be looked down on." I'd known Evan Zhao for over 10 years, and I never expected that, to his core, he was this kind of person. That's on me for misjudging character. "Thanks for the lesson," I said. "You've made me see your true nature clearly. Go back to Emily. She likes you, and the two of you are a perfect fit now in family background and looks." With both of them staring at me in shock, I left with Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe didn't go home. My parents, moving at top speed, bought me a small move-in ready studio by the school so I could leave the dorm. They were afraid Evan and Emily might try something against me. Uncle Joe took an apartment in the same building and drove me to and from campus every day, part-time bodyguard. I hadn't expected that the bed I'd made in the dorm would only be slept in 2 or 3 nights before I never used it again. A week later, the school started a 15-day military training. Every day, Evan waited at the campus gate. The moment he saw me step out of the car, he'd run over, pressing a bottle of water into my hands, or sunscreen. Every time, I threw it away in front of him, or shoved it into the arms of the pitiful-looking Emily beside him. He'd get angry, snatch it back from her, and toss it. Emily's eyes would redden and the tears would fall, every time the same scene. At first I found it a little novel. Later, I dropped everything straight into the trash. It was crushed, dark circles under his eyes, stubble on his face, the whole man haggard. The confident, pampered aura of a golden boy was gone. Day after day he kept coming, begging for forgiveness, thinking I'd soften and take him back, and day after day he walked away disappointed. Until one day, other suitors showed up at my side, more than one. He fell apart. The proud tilt of his chin disappeared. All he wanted was for me to look at him. Grace, those guys are only chasing you for your family background. They're not sincere. They keep seeing you get out of a Maybach. They definitely have an agenda. Don't fall for it. Okay? Think about it. We're the childhood sweethearts here. We know each other inside and out, right? My parents still won't forgive me. They haven't even told me where they moved. I don't even have a home anymore. Don't trust out-of-towners. Trust me. I gave him a cutting look. Trust you? Childhood sweethearts? Is this a joke? As I recall, the person who's hurt me the most is my childhood sweetheart. Oh right, that's you. I've already seen through the cold, calculating core of who you are. Why would I ever trust you again? As for them, sure, they're after my money. And aren't you the same? You want me back only so the Zhou family can regain its former glory and you can go back to being that carefree, confident golden boy. It's not that you realize you were wrong, it's that you're scared. Too bad, I'm already completely disappointed in you. I won't give you another chance. Take care of yourself. The light in Evan Zhou's eyes went out at once. He couldn't even lift his head to look at me, just muttered under his breath. I wronged you. I thought you couldn't leave me, so I trampled on your feelings. I went too far. I forgot that even with all your money, you're still just a girl. I shouldn't have taken your feelings for granted and kept hurting you. I was wrong. Evan, don't waste your breath, I said. From now on, don't appear in front of me. Please, he started, but I cut him off and turned away. From that day on, he really didn't show up again, and neither did Emily. I heard from others that the two of them had gotten back together and were off and out as a pair, seeming to do just fine. I smiled to myself. Evan Zhou talks one way and acts another. He scorned Emily, but once he saw there was no hope with me, he kept her by his side. Not a bit of waste there. I didn't expect that this time I'd be wrong. In the second half of freshman year, the two of them suddenly stopped coming to class at the same time. I didn't go out of my way to ask, but the rumors still reached me. You know about Evan Zhou and Emily Shen? Last semester they were glued together. We thought they were dating. But turns out they weren't. Probably short on money, Evan scouted for men outside. After he got paid, he sent Emily to the hotel. Word is, they made quite a bit in a short time. A lot of classmates noticed they were both using the newest Apple phones and laptops. But you can't keep a lid on fire. Money earned illegally will cause trouble sooner or later. They got caught. Someone reported them. Both of them were taken in, and they're students, which makes it serious. The school tried to suppress it, but people still found out they were expelled. A relative of mine who teaches at our university overheard the details. Such a pity. They had a bright future. How did it come to this? Watching those gossipers walk away, I fell into thought. Shocked as I was, I felt like I understood their motives. It's easy to go from simple to extravagant, hard to go from extravagant back to simple. He couldn't bear the fall of his family's fortunes. He was used to a life without money worries, and suddenly he had nothing. And she'd never had money to begin with, and fell for someone she shouldn't have, someone who even taught her how to make money. A perfect match, in a way. The two were expelled and left a record behind. Their lives were more or less ruined. After it all blew over, I focused on studying and worked hard on certifications. In the end, I graduated smoothly and secured a guaranteed spot in graduate school. Even though my family has more money than I can spend, I needed to learn to earn my own. Only then does a sense of security really take root.